ProGroupRacing.com.au presents Show Us Your Tips. Daggy back with a Beaver after a couple of weeks. How are you, mate?
Very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Going well. Day before Christmas, what's planned?
Oh, mate, Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, and to you. Yeah. And all the viewers and listeners on YouTube and Spotify. And
thanks for supporting us throughout the year, and I hope everyone has a lovely Christmas, and looking forward to some fun-packed racing action on Boxing Day. But yeah, no, mate, just family stuff planned.
Yep.
The norm. Can't go anywhere.
No, that's it. We're back. We get off a little bit, but go visit the olds, and kids can get their Santa presents, and off we go.
Yeah. What are you getting?
Stuff. I don't know.
Nothing?
Nothing. Lump of coal. So yeah,
hopefully a few winners from the Beaver.
Yeah, so we'll pay for a few of them on Boxing Day that way. We'll get into that.
Let's fingers crossed.
But yeah, as you said, we have had very good numbers, and they continue to grow, and a nice little community build around the show. So very thankful for everyone that's tuned in and subscribed on YouTube and Spotify, and obviously Pro Group Racing, who supported us, picked us up, and they're a fantastic growing website, and they'll have much more to offer in the new years. Yep. So looking forward to all of that. But should we get into some racing?
Might as well, mate. That's what the punters want.
Let's kick off at Randwick, where it is currently a soft 5, couple of drying days. Apparently only about 1 mil coming today, and potentially up to 5 mil tomorrow. But I'm saying it's probably going to be no worse than soft.
Yeah.
So I've treated, as
drying out a little bit.
I don't think it's much today, so I'm treating it as about, probably just off good, to be honest with you. So no real problems with the track, I'm predicting. Any thoughts on how the day might progress, or we'll just play it pretty straight?
I'm hoping it plays pretty fair.
Yeah.
Randwick normally does most of the time. So, yeah, hopefully every horse gets its chance.
Fantastic. I've just noticed my tip in the first, which was a 2-year-old race, has been scratched. So any opinion in the 2-year-old race, or you have to play it through? Vandula Lass was pretty impressive on debut at Sandown, but
it certainly was.
Any thoughts here, or are you happy to?
Yeah, no, I think Vandula Lass will probably get us off to a good start. It's only even money, but Hawks has brought it here for a tilt, and I think against this lot should be hard to beat.
Yeah, I thought Shakira might have been a good thing, but it's obviously come out for somewhere else. I imagine maybe Magic Moon's down the road.
Yes.
I might get you just to put your microphone closer to your head too, so we can all hear.
No worries, mate.
Yep.
All good.
Anything in the highway race 2?
No, I left the highway alone. The favourite.
Pinnacle Prince.
Yeah, it looks hard to beat.
Mentioned last time, yeah.
Yeah, I think with gate 19, I just thought, I was a bit nervous about that.
Booking a J-Mac there is interesting, but I, as a rule, tend to just throw a bunch of them into the early quarter and hope for the best with highways. I don't get too involved there. Hopefully a bit more interesting now. We get into race 3, which kicks us off properly for the preview, which is the mile for the 3 and 4-year-olds, benchmark 72. Story of the day is it's probably not the most exciting day for stamping real, genuine morals or anything, but some interesting angles in every race. Do you have any thoughts on the third?
Yeah, I'd come up with Zing. I thought the first up run of Zing was pretty impressive. McDonald's stays aboard here. I think Pitchfork will make sure that there's a little bit of speed in the race, and I'm hoping Zing can just sit off that, get the last shot, and hopefully the step up in distance will be in its favour, and the pull in the weights might be the telling factor. So Zing for me, I think hard to beat.
Yeah, I would have had Kukaracha on top, which has come out too. So Zing was next best, and last prep beat Fulmina, which is obviously didn't stand up in a slowly run race last week. But I think the horse, both Fulmina is better than that, and the form's fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Pitchfork got beaten down the outside fence when the inside was off last week at Kenzo. So maybe forgive, but I'm also sick of the horse. Not one I'm going to find. So I think I default to Zing as well.
Yeah, good.
So, yeah, not much more to add there.
Just a little bit better value in the market as well, and that's why I ended up with it.
And Black Bolt off winning form, but Wyong and Newcastle doesn't excite me overly in this race, but there's not a lot else in it, to be honest.
No.
Race 4 over the 1800 metres, 78. Again, another one I really didn't have a firm opinion in. Any thoughts?
No, I left this one alone, Daggy. This was way too hard for me. It's a pretty open affair, $5 plus the field. Look, there's probably 10 chances, to be honest, and finding the winner here is anyone's guess. So I've left this one alone, and just I'll leave that to the punters.
Yeah, come along sort of up and going, but is all Canterbury form, so I couldn't get excited there. Just for the sake of different form, just something outside the box. Sacramento had an okay prep down in Melbourne last start. Comes back up here. The Trolls are okay, and just for something completely different at double figures is probably where I'm going to end up, because I just don't like the race at all. Cap Fever's tied to Criminal Code. That's midweek form in a midweek race, essentially. What do you do from the Army? Not sure. There's just too many question marks. So,
Yep.
We both probably spent too long on that one. It does get any easier. Race 5 over the mile. Benchmark 88, one of the stronger races of the day. I thought there's probably a good thing here. I thought Big Boy Roy gets the right run, just behind the pace, in a race of not a lot of winners. And actually Waller, I know it might come out because it's drawn gate 8, but gets a right run here if it does run. Also, the other thing for the Waller stable is down at the bottom of the weights. So it's been up in the weights the last few weeks. Big drop in weight. I think they're going to think this is its race now. More intent, hopefully can sit just behind leader and probably hard to beat. That leader will be Frosty Rocks, as the market implies, but that's now sort of tainted with Queensland form, where it didn't do much when it went up there. Outside of that, Humboldt Current's return was actually better than probably Reed's at about 30-1. Is the rough in a race for me, but Big Boy Roy on top for the Waller stable. What about yourself?
Yeah, I kind of went the same way as you. I thought Big Boy Roy might get all the favours in this. Probably one out, one back, somewhere around there, sitting behind Frosty Rocks. We know Frosty Rocks needs a leader's track and probably needs some leader bias here. Gets the 2 kilo claim, but it'll need to get all the right favours and the step up to 1600 as well. Big Boy Roy for me. Yeah, couldn't really find.
You think Regal Stage probably doesn't give Frosty an easy time of it?
No, you would have thought there would have been a little bit of pace on.
Yeah.
The outsider for me was Matawi. If the pace is on, it could finish down the middle of the track if it gets the right run. But, horses like Opacity, it's just not going well enough at the moment.
It just doesn't win.
It just doesn't win. Word for Word can put in a good run, as can Kiss the Bride. Probably needs a bit further than this. But, so Big Boy Roy for me.
Yeah. The other one, if you have an early quarter or something that I haven't mentioned, would be Corcho. Just fresh might be best here. Race 6, the Summer Cup, the feature of the day. This is a Group 3 over the 2,000 metres. We see Graceful Glamour stump up again after a couple of wins in a row for us. Lure Me In, top of the market with Spirit Ridge. Have you had any thoughts here?
Yeah, I landed on Lure Me In.
Yeah,
I thought its last couple of runs have been impressive. Did run second to Graceful Glamour at its last start. Graceful Glamour 2 starts ago. It gets the pull in the weights. So it gets about 4 kilo. Well, it's got 5 kilo pull in the weights here. I think it meets it about 4 or 4.5 kilos better than the start when it was beaten by a couple of lengths, where it was a leader biased track. With that pull in the weights, would suggest to me that Lure Me In's probably the horse to beat. Again, as long as they're running on, that's the way I'm going.
I thought of. I've been with Graceful Glen. I've sort of opposed here thinking Vaddy and Wolf doesn't give her the easier time in the front that she might have had the last couple of weeks.
Yep. Which
has left me finding third up now, Spirit Ridge, who was okay next to Kerwin's Lane, gapped the rest. Bar Kerwin's last start, third up now out to 2,000 metres. For the first time over in Australia, I think this is probably its target. I think gets a right run. And who else to beat for me? Spirit Ridge. From obviously, I think it's a good race for the Union Yard. If Graceful Glen repeats what it's been doing, it'll run well again. And respect, obviously, what you've said, if Lure Me In, it's just a horse that always leaves a bad taste in my mouth ever since it was down in Melbourne. So I've just got something against the horse. So I won't comment anymore. Race 7, benchmark 78 over the 1,200 metres. Interesting affair. I don't like the race particularly either, but on top for me was Hulk, up in the weights, again for the Waller stable, not something I'd necessarily follow, but I know Waller tends to not necessarily like having his horses carrying too much. $11 though I think is a fair bet in a weakish race. I think the horse is going pretty well. Didn't like the setup back to 11 off the 1,000 last time, but has a trial in between. I think sets up here. Was pretty unlucky in that pandemic race, just got held up at the wrong time. Out of that race, 11-11 went to Wyong and won, who beat at home. So I'm just saying Holt can run well here in a race that I'd struggle to find much else. Amish Boy comes out of Group 1 stuff around Glenfiddich down in Melbourne, but the trial was pretty ordinary. And other than that, maybe All Time Legend is a better horse than I thought it was, and has been putting a few together. But that's Hulk around $11 is on top for me. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's a good, interesting race, this one, I thought. Look, I think there's plenty of chances in this race. I've landed on Nick Point. I thought its first up run was pretty good. Its sectionals for the last 600 and 200 were pretty good on the day. Hopefully the good track condition will remain and it gets not too wet for it. Again, I think it can get the right run. Second up, should have been improved from the first up run. Had trialled okay. I just went for the Cummings stable here to produce Nick Point second up and be hard to beat. But there's plenty of chances around here. All-time Legend resumes off some decent form. AIM has some ability. Didn't show it last prep.
Yeah, I didn't know to make it that trial.
Yeah.
Trialled okay. Well, it beat, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure to have AIM, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting horses. The trial of All-Time Legend and AIM, they ran in the same trial. Wasn't that bad. Prior to that, had some winning form. So goes all right at the track. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, that's cool. Second last of the day is another 78 over the 1400, more 78 racing, which essentially is a high-level Wednesday stuff. Another tricky affair. I'm gonna stump up for St Covered's last week, off last week's quick back up into this, $7. Now gets J-Mac. Gate 1 probably sits leaders back. I don't know how it didn't win last week. Just got nabbed to cost us the quaddie last week, but now I think quick back up, fourth up. It's its race in a trickier affair. I'd want each way from Intrepidatious around $15, who's going all right. Battled on pace the last couple. I think maybe it's a bit of a softer time of it here, and beyond that, yeah, again, a wide open affair. All that said, Ellsberg might come out and win by 4 lengths, which is the concern, but I was just playing a little bit away from that. Probably a bit mired in that lightly raced stuff coming off Canterbury, but it was a midweek Rose Hill meeting, so I don't have that much form out of the race, but it's very impressive there.
Yeah,
is that how you went?
Yeah, I did go for Ellsberg. I thought it looked one of the better bets on the day. It's drawn wide, but I think that may help.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
It'll come across and lead these. It's down in the weights, so it's in well there, 54.5. If it's improved any on last run where it absolutely brained them and made a mess of that field, I think it'll be hard to beat here, and certainly St Covered Spirit's going to get back on the fence, so it's going to need a little bit of luck in running. It's going to have to give Ellsberg a big start, so that may be too much for St Covered.
We'll know where the track's at. In fairness, my notes, as you can see, he did say Ellsberg's got to be the starting point when you're putting everything together. I just went away from it a little bit. That said, I could easily have turned around and made it my best of the day. So just to confuse everyone, and I'm guessing maybe you have, but I think they're your main ones for your quaddie. Anything else? You're keeping it simple. Travis, pretty
keeping it simple.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Nice start. Benchmark 78 for the 1200 finishes the day. Let's have a look here. What do you think?
I went for the top 8 in the last.
Madame
Legend. Yep. Thoughts? Look, it's trialled really well.
Last trial was pretty good.
Was a nice little trial. Had a softer trial prior to that, and last start before it went out, it beat Vitesse quite convincingly by 3.5 lengths. That was on a heavy track, so but it's got form across heavy, soft, and good tracks. 4 wins from 8 starts and a couple of placings. This looks like a horse with a bit of promise to me, and gets the 3 kilo claim for CJ Graham, so gets okay in it, the 57.5.
Not a great deal of pace here either. I know there's a biggish field which can generate it, but outside of, I guess, Lilymore going forward, probably gets a pretty comfy run as well on pace.
Yeah, I had Madame Legend on top, and hardest to beat was Dun Brody Power.
Yeah, cool. I think you probably got it right. Like I said, both those Legend horses, I think, are better than I sort of realised. They're both putting together nice little records. Trial was good. Probably on top for me as well, Madam Legend. Selena Dreaming, no real spoil in the market, but was pretty wide and tough, beating the face at on resumption, and it will be the horse to be the main opposition. Dunbrady Power, always honest, but probably ends up back at last here. So I think we both finish on the same note there. I think you're in charge of Sydney Quaddie today, Beaver, just to drop that on you.
That's all right, mate.
Want to run with that?
I come prepared.
Good.
I come prepared. So, first leg, 1, 5, and 9.
Yep.
The second leg, I went 2, 3, 6, 7, and 11.
Yep.
In the third leg, I went 14. Just going backwards here. 10. And 5. And in the last leg, sorry, my numbers are gone all. I had 1, 4, 8.
4, 8. Cool. It was this 45 times 3, 120, 135 combos. So your $50 will get you, what's that, about 40%?
Yeah.
Under. So nice work,
35.
Beaver. Wrap up the day for us, your best in value in Sydney.
Yeah, my best is race 8, number 14, Ellsberg.
Mm-hmm.
And then my value bet of the day comes up in race 7, number 11, Nick Point.
Very good. I'm going to make my value Hulk in the sprint race. My best was going to be Shakira in the first, so yeah, I'm coming back to Ellsberg as well, but I'll make it Big Boy Roy. I think if it gets a right run, there'll be some intent tomorrow. So a nice day for the Wallace stable. Not that he needs much more. But he just bought a new house, so he's probably doing it tough.
Yeah, sounds like it.
35 mil last year's, hard work for some. Anyway, let's get to Flemington. Let's mention progroupracing.com.au. Check out plenty of exciting features coming in the new year. Some new reviews, form guides and strategies going up there in the new year. So looking forward to continuing our relationship with them. Well, let's head down to Flemington, where the rail is in the true. It's dry. It is Caulfield, not Flemington or Caulfield. So probably typical Caulfield, on pace early. And
is it normally Caulfield on Boxing Day?
I feel like it's usually Flemington because didn't it used to be? I don't want to say it's a St Ledger. It's one of those sort of races.
Yes.
There used to be some sort of maybe it was a St Ledger. Years ago, there used to be like a big staying race on, and they moved it. I don't know if it's around. It was one of those sort of big 3 or 4 year old races, which is probably where I've got. Unless I'm thinking of New Year's Day.
No, I'm pretty sure.
New Year's. Anyway, shows you how good our racing history knowledge is. It'll come to me at about 2 a.m. tomorrow, like it usually does.
Can't back winners after the race, mate.
No, that's true.
We're about the future, not the past.
Exactly. So let's go to Caulfield, though, where we'll play like Caulfield. Interesting meeting because before they resumed they had the Wednesday meeting there, which is at Rail 14, which didn't really count. All the rest of the lead up to this day is all through Moonee Valley, Pakenham, and so it's a weird day to sort of put form together.
And a few from South Australia as well.
And plenty of Adelaide stuff and some down from Sydney, which I've found later on.
Hard to line up. A
lot of it. So let's play it with caution. But again, there's hopefully a couple later in the day we can stamp. Anything in a 2-year-old, or we go straight through?
Nothing in the first for me, mate.
Let's go into the 3-year-old benchmark 70 over 1100 metres for race 2. I thought Zushine was sort of the obvious starting point. Don't really like the price. Not so much out of the Morpheville Maiden because that was a pretty ordinary race, but for the fact it started $1.75 against Writ and Miss, 3 starts back. Obviously that form's held up okay. The one at double figures that won quite nicely was Lariat. Sat outside lead at Moonee Valley. Was quite impressive through the line, and I thought not at the strongest of races, might get the right run here. Sort of blending run, hopefully 3 wide of cover can chime in at the end. So I thought, around $11, a reasonable bet on Lariat. Terrified of Zushine, who obviously is the starting point. What about yourself?
Look, I wasn't overly keen on the race, but if I was going to have a bet, I went for Twist of Fury.
Okay.
I just thought some of the form lines through it were pretty good. 2 starts back, won really well. And then some of the horses that it ran against in those races weren't that far off September runs. So if you go through the form lines there, could be the horse to beat if it can produce. And its last run wasn't the worst in the world, third. So if it can produce that, it'd certainly be hard to beat. Drawn well, gets the services of Jamie Carr. So Twist of Fury for me, with caution.
Just noticed Divine Miss M, $18 seems a big price, but she got touted last start, I suppose. Let's head to can't tip them all. I've got to stop doing that. So race 3, benchmark 70 over the 1400 metres. Tougher one, mate. Did you find anything here?
No, I thought the favourite looked hard to beat.
Yeah, it looked very impressive.
Yeah, that was a really good first up win. Only start, won well. Price and Kent are producing some good youngsters at the moment.
Well, they got probably the danger here as well in Sophia, who won in the same manner.
Yeah, that's right.
Off a spell.
So look, even money is as short as you want to take, but looks hard to beat.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, starting point out 10 looked like a big brood. He was very impressive on debut. Beltoro run nicely at Flemington.
Yes.
Just chimed in quite soft on the line. Probably goes back to last and inside here at Caulfield, which is not necessarily a place you want to be. But Neves came out of its last start to win yesterday under Nash.
And won comfortably.
And won quite easily, yeah. So I thought that form's okay. So we're going to find out whether, a dominant maiden out of the bushes stacks up to Flemington form there. But I've got a feeling it might. Benchmark 78 of the 1400 metres. Does this get much easier?
Yeah, no, I left this one alone. I couldn't really find anything here. Be just interesting whether the Sydney form in promotions stacks up.
Yeah.
We questioned that the other week, and
I was right.
Stayer, you was right.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah. Miyake.
Yeah.
So
got the right run and won. So,
but I'll take it. I'd give him promotions life, but I'm actually tipping it here because I just don't like the race. The race is an ordinary race.
Yep. That's why I just didn't. That's why I just stayed out.
Yeah, so you probably get $5 a day, but I like they've got Oliver booked, and there's nothing else I want to really talk about. Gentico's fallen off a cliff. Wicklow Town, and Viral hadn't done much till last start. So I'm with promotions on top. Probably actually almost talked myself into making that one of the better bets today with the booking of Oliver. Who's what you need there? So
that's famous last words there
Yeah,
on the horse you're given life, and now you're nearly making it your best of the day.
It's a safer Melbourne form.
Good on you.
Let's move on from that quickly then, shall we? To the girls 70. Whereas a stable I've given life here in the Jod Sadler stable, not even Nash can save me from tipping that. So, do you have an idea?
I liked the win of Don't Tell Me Boss.
Yeah.
Don't Tell Me the Boss last start. I thought it was it was way too good for him. Gets a 2 kilo claim here, and I think it can go on with it now. First up, steps up again in distance. Won well, get back and produce down the outside here. I think it's not a bad bet. $5 is pretty good.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I like the return. And if I'm going to back it, I'm going to have something smaller, Madam Superior down the bottom, across the line, a neck away from it. And it's currently $26 with Damien Oliver. So gets probably just a run on leaders back here. So they're the 2 bets for me. Down to the Boss from Madam Superior.
Yep. Nothing for new friends for you, mate.
I was going to make a mention of that. I thought that might have been the aim and bet of the day.
Yes.
I did have that here. So, but from the great Bratsky. So he's at home with the missus. All right, let's kick off the quaddie. Another 70, more benchmark 70. I remember there was a blow-up, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago now when they first started putting benchmark 78s and 70 on weekends in Melbourne. Well, you can't have them. It's not Saturday racing, and now every race is a benchmark race. But anyway, I suppose you've got to find the winner. Do you want to back that girl in this race off sitting last at $3.30? It hasn't won for...
Yeah, it's a tricky call, isn't it? It came home well last start, but 58... Sitting last, gate 2, bit of a worry, but it's not a tough field. Gets the extra 100 here than at Pakenham, and it was Pakenham form, but it ran a length behind Defiant Dancer, who we know came out and was super impressive. It was a really good win. But prior to that, this was 5 lengths off Antagonizer and ran okay behind Chassis and Rich Hips at Caulfield. Hasn't won at this track, but has won at the distance. Look, tough horse to catch. 2 wins in
Just
11
sort of goes
starts.
down. Yeah,
Bit of a worry.
And I think, so
The problem
won his
is-
first start and then won a Class 1 and then hasn't won anything since is the concern for me.
Tough race.
Do you have anything? Or you?
Oh, look,
Settle that?
I then just kind of looked at, I did it for love, and then the 15 gate there worried me a fair bit there. So I just really found it hard to find something. Flow Star, can it produce first up? Tough race. Yeah, I didn't really have anything. Again, Flow Star goes all right first up, but hasn't won at this track in 5 goes. Tough race. Anything, I think, outside of that girl, if that girl produces its best form, probably wins. But outside of that, you can probably back 7 or 8 horses and still be looking.
Yeah. For the sake of having to tip something, yeah, I did it for love was on top for me. Had the fence in its favour, I know, on resumption, but it was a nice ride. Is lightly raced, which has an advantage on the rest of this field. And gate 15 would want to know if you can make ground by then.
Yep.
Is a concern. If you can, if the outside's the place to be, then I'm probably betting up. If not, I'm hoping I'm in front by this race. So, yeah, only real one I really gravitated to, and beyond staying away from the favourite, to be honest with you. The Christmas Stakes are listed 1,200 metre race, and more blue colours for me. I'm going to put Pandemic on top, coming off the win over Albumin and Moe's Crown. Again, gets Ollie. Nice blending gate, around the $3 mark. I think this isn't a strong race, and I think it will put 2 together here. My best today, Pandemic. What about yourself?
I went for King of Hastings.
Only danger, yeah.
I think I really like.
I thought you were about to say William Thomas. If you'd said William Thomas, I would have muted you.
You know I'm not allowed to do that.
No.
Look, I think King of Hastings, don't know if it's had a trial. So there's not a much of a guide there, but first up goes really well. Had a first up, 1 win, 1 second. At the track, 1 win, 1 second. It's won 3 over the distance and comes second, 3 over the distance. Everything points in its favour to produce a good run. It's drawn gate 4, Jai McNeil aboard. Friedman should have it ready. Around the $4 mark. They want to be on its game to beat this. I think King of Hastings at the moment is not bad value.
And just to clarify its first up form, it won on debut, missed by a length behind Super South, who at the time was a hot horse, and then missed by Nose Prezado up the straight, where Prezado was going as good as any horse does go up the straight. So very good form, yeah. Other one that goes in the quarter for me.
What's next?
That's where I'm going. To the Lord Stakes, a listed one over the 1,700 metre race. Did I even do this right? Oh, I did. Didn't take me long. Tavidance will win again, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Tavidance was very impressive last start. Beat up most of this field. Only has to do it again. Similar, from gate 9 comes across and gets a similar run, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pace here.
Looks very hard to beat.
I didn't go much further. Parody's always been one of mine. Pancho resumed on quite well, but no. Let's end it there. Tavidance on top. You know,
No, mate, I'm with you.
All right,
it's done
good,
deal.
good.
Nothing to add, mate.
I know. I can waffle. I know I hide it well. All right, well, let's wrap up the day. Benchmark 78 over 2,000 metres. How are you going to come home at Caulfield?
Yeah, I'm going to come home with Australis. Thought it was pretty good last start. Last 3 runs have been very good. All runs this preparation have been good. 2,000 metres suits, drawn well. Nash is aboard. Won 2,000 at Caulfield last start with 59. Only goes up a kilo on that. Beating playoffs. They're all pretty sort of similar weighted. Prior to that was strong at Pakenham over the mile. And then prior to that at Moonee Valley. Won fairly comfortably, beating an okay field. So the 2,000 metres certainly looks like will suit it. First go last start. Should only be stronger than that. So going good at the moment. That'll do me.
Yep, you're going from Lockie King carrying 59 to Nash carrying 60. So I think that's a no issue at all there. And on a leader, he's going to go forward. He'll get control of this race, which is what he does best. So, yep, on top for me as well. Again, not much more to add.
No, good. Danger Sentimentalist.
Yes, you do love that stable, and they've had a good week. They had a double or a treble last weekend. The Paulie Pruska stable.
Yes.
So father and son there, maybe for the Quinella. There's a Kaz is obviously flying as well at his top of the market. Milestone came out of that race and ran well in Sydney last week, but I think Australia gets the everything in its favour here. Let's wrap up your thoughts as I do the quaddie first. Actually, let's wrap up my thoughts. I'm going to make the quaddie 4, 7, 8 and 14 into 4, 6, 7 and 9, 6, 7, 8 and home with 3, 4, 5 and 8. So yes, Sentimentalist goes into my quaddie, as does Influential Girl for the Griffins and de Kock stable. My best today is Tavidance, but also pretty keen on Pandemic, as mentioned, and my value will be I Did It For Love.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah, my best bet of the day is also Tavidance, race 8, number 7. Looks a good thing, and my value bet comes up in the last, race 9, number 4, Australis, at the $5, $6 mark.
Yeah, fantastic. That would have been my other value play as well. So good work there. You're going to go north for us?
Oh, I got a few up north for us, Daggy.
Run through Magic. So yeah, Magic Moons is only 2 weeks away. There are some good horses going around. There's some good horses going around there on Wednesday just gone. We might even, as we get to Magic Moons, and this is just me thinking this now, we might actually preview Magic Moons one week instead of, we might drop off one of the Sydney or Melbourne meetings and do Magic Moons instead. But we'll talk about that. What have you got up north? Run us through.
Got race 2, number 4, Hard Labour.
Mm-hmm.
I've got race 5, I think it is. Race 5, number 2, Shooting for Gold. Sticking with that.
Nice
I've backed it a few times.
Yep.
Race 6, number 1, the Eleonora.
Oh, is it? He's up there, is it?
Yep. So I think that's going to be super hard to beat. And my other one comes up in race 9, number 1, Baller. Certainly beat last start. About $4.20 at the moment.
Talk about it.
Get on it.
No, fantastic. Very good. I'm just having a quick look through Morphettville, but nothing's jumping out at me. I haven't had a chance to look there yet. Very good. As we head towards Magic Millions and the New Year's, we will wrap up. Show us your tips today, and thank ProGetRacing.com.au once more. Anything you want to finish on, Beaver?
No, that's it for me, mate.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy birthday for Boxing Day.
Thank you, mate. I was wondering if you'd remember and wish me happy birthday.
Don't look a day over 60, so you've done well.
I'm going all right.
So, yeah, happy birthday to you. Maybe we might have a beer and a bet to celebrate because I haven't got any invites anywhere else. So
that'll be all right. Wonder why. Yeah. New friends, mate.
I know, exactly. Merry Christmas, everyone. We will talk to you when we preview New Year's racing next weekend. See you guys.